Well, hello, gentlemen. I say you do look kinda suave tonight. Well, I mean, you either got it or you haven't. And us guys usually have got it, haven't we? Now I'm making a kind of another video like I have done before, and that is about femons. Ha! That's unusual. But in my experience, after I've just been downtown, I haven't been downtown for probably about 6 years, I guess, there was loads of people down there. Mostly femons, and I didn't even see one, not goddamn one, that was attractive to me. Now either I'm going off them, or they're just getting worse. But actually, throughout my life, there's not many Western women and European women, really, that are naturally attractive. I mean, you think about it, you just tell them to get out of bed and put something on real quick no matter what, and just go out. What would they look like? Nothing special. They usually have to spend about 2 hours before they can actually venture outside the door. But of course, a lot of Asian women are different. They can just be woken up out of bed and go outside by just throwing something on real quick and look very attractive. And that's because a lot of Asian women don't use all these big props that the Western and European women use. Number one is loads of makeup. But just think about it. Let's say, for instance, there was a makeup shortage, or all of a sudden there was no makeup available anywhere. Most of the Western and European women wouldn't even go outside the door because they're so used to wearing that mask. And it is a mask. A lot of femmes would probably go into the cooking cabinet and get some food coloring and try and use that. They are so dependent upon the makeup. And it's kind of strange because every femme I've ever known, apart from the Asian ones I did, always wore makeup, to some degree. So it's a pandemic in itself, isn't it? There's a lot of videos around now of femmes complaining about men just want them for the pump and dump. And then you look at their videos that they did and it was advertising one thing: sex. So if you advertise for sex, that's what you're gonna get. Of course, they could put their clothes back on and put less makeup on and talk about their personality, what they like and dislike, and maybe who they are. But as most femmes don't have much of a personality, that wouldn't work either. But it's not gone unnoticed by me that still a lot of men are putting femmes on pedestals. I mean, femmes are putting themselves on pedestals. We don't need other men putting them on there too. I know, you guys are saying, no, not me. What do you think of when I say Christine Brinkley? Well, yes, there you go, see? Reasonably attractive femme with parts in the right place. At least when she was younger. But you have to understand, guys, they still have to go poo. They still have to expel air that smells. They still sweat. In other words, they're human just like you and me. You guys are in love with a persona, not the real person. A lot of you young guys won't know who Christine Brinkley was. She was quite a successful model in her day. She's quite an old lady now. But the scenario works with the young models of today too. It's just a persona, that's all. An image. And all these femmes on these videos are all makeup to the hilt. And they all have these special softening and better looking filters as well. They're creating a persona. It's just a fake image. It kind of reminds me when I was a young man and we was in discos, they used to call them. They were quite low-lit places with plenty of alcohol. And you used to be talking to this femme for hours, and then you stayed a bit too late, and the disco closed. And when they closed, they turned the lights all on, full, and it scared the living hell out of you to see what she really looked like. Now, I used to tell guys to just mentally use a fire hose on them for 5 minutes and then take a look. But nowadays, the makeup is so heavy, you might have to hit them with it at least 10 minutes. And probably some false things would fall off as well. Now, in my day, many guys used to talk about some femmes and say, well, she scrubs up quite nicely. Which means if you were taking her out to a friend's house or a party or something, she used to dress up and put her makeup on quite nice and look quite good. But that wasn't the real her, of course. You ever seen those pictures in those magazines like Hello and The OK or magazines like that? Do those femmes in those magazines look real to you? Have you ever seen a femme who looks like that On the street. I mean, when you're sober, that is. Stop falling for the fakery guys. The other ones femons are using now is big breasts. Some of them are actually real. I myself don't get it. What can you do with them? What are they gonna look like when she gets older? For me, it's the personality that counts the most. And most of the modern femons today, in fact the femons before today, looks like I'm shit out of luck, doesn't it? Why work on their personality when they have breasts? I guess that's what they think. Hasn't worked too well for them, has it? Maybe one day they'll realize, I live in hope. Where the hell do you live? Take it easy, fellas.
It's all just fakery, Captain.